We are back once again with another Camp Nou construction update, and there's quite a lot to talk about today. Over the past few weeks, the weather conditions in Barcelona haven't exactly been ideal. There's been rain, cloudy skies, and periods of unstable weather that could easily slow down a project of this size. But interestingly, despite these conditions, work at the construction site is still advancing at a steady pace. Crews are adapting, working carefully, and continuing progress across multiple sections of the stadium. And that's what makes today's update so encouraging. Even with the weather not fully cooperating, we're still seeing visible development in key structural and functional areas of Camp Nou. The construction teams have shown remarkable resilience and dedication, adjusting their work schedules and methods to accommodate the challenging weather while maintaining safety standards and quality control. So let's go through everything step by step and take a closer look at the latest progress around the stadium. We'll be covering 5 major areas today, and each one shows significant advancement that brings us closer to the completion of this incredible project. Let's begin with the third-tier works, because this remains one of the most important areas of the entire project. Progress here is still very steady and very visible, and the transformation over the past few weeks has been truly remarkable. The compression rings have been set up properly, forming the structural backbone that supports the upper parts of the stadium. These rings are critical because they distribute the enormous loads of the upper tiers and eventually the roof structure. These compression rings are engineering marvels in themselves. They're designed to handle incredible amounts of weight and pressure, transferring forces efficiently throughout the structure. Without these rings properly in place, the entire upper bowl simply couldn't exist. On top of that, the third radial beam has now been perfectly installed. This is another major structural milestone, because radial beams are what connect the compression ring to the terraces and outer structure. Now let's move to the diamond area, which is shaping up to be one of the most visually attractive parts of the stadium. This section will host key commercial spaces, including coffee shops, cafeteria areas, and the official club store. And progress here is also looking very promising. The installation of the glass panels for the cafeteria section is continuing steadily. The glass being used is thick, durable, and designed for both safety and insulation. However, on the other side of the diamond area, the section designated for the store progress with the glass panels has slowed down slightly. But this isn't due to any major issue or problem with the project timeline. Workers have been bringing a lot of materials into that area, especially for interior installations, ventilation systems, and technical infrastructure. Another area showing strong progress is the stair sections, and this is an often overlooked but absolutely critical part of the stadium. Over the past few days, workers have been focusing heavily on the interior parts of the stair structures, ensuring that all the internal framework, reinforcement, and structural elements are properly in place. But now, we're starting to see a visible shift toward the exterior finishing stages, which is always an exciting development in any construction project. Sheets are being placed around the stair enclosures, covering the outer parts of these sections. This is a clear sign that the structural and interior works in those staircases are reaching completion. When exterior enclosure work begins, it usually means several important things. Structural alignment is complete, with all load-bearing elements properly positioned and secured. Interior components are installed, including handrails, lighting fixtures, and safety features. The section is moving toward finishing stages, transitioning from rough construction to final touches. And the pace here is quite impressive. Now let's talk about something we mentioned in the last update, the tubes that were brought into the stadium. At the time, their arrival suggested that new system installations were about to begin around the exterior facade, and we speculated about what they might be used for and when installation would start. And the workers didn't waste any time. Those tubes have now been fixed perfectly along the exterior sections, installed with impressive speed and precision. The installation was very swift and very efficient, which tells us that significant planning and preparation went into this phase before the tubes even arrived on site. Finally, let's move to the north goal area, where something very interesting is happening. Over the past few weeks, a large number of materials have been delivered to this section. And we're not talking about small quantities, we're talking about substantial stockpiles that clearly indicate major work is on the horizon. Among these materials are insulating components that will provide thermal and acoustic performance, structural elements including beams, panels, and connection hardware, and new crystal panels for the upper tiers that will enclose and weatherproof those sections. This kind of material buildup usually signals the beginning of a new construction phase. It's one of the most reliable indicators that significant work is about to accelerate in a particular area. And in this case, it strongly suggests that major works are about to begin in the North Goal section. When materials are stockpiled like this, it typically means several things are happening behind the scenes. Planning for the next phase is complete, with detailed drawings, schedules, and work sequences finalized. Measurements have been finalized, allowing materials to be ordered and prefabricated to exact specifications. Installation teams are preparing, reviewing procedures, and coordinating with other trades. Work is about to accelerate, likely within the next few weeks or even days. The North Goal area is particularly important because it's one of the signature sections of the stadium. The way this area looks and functions will have a major impact on the overall stadium experience, especially for fans seated behind the goal and for television broadcasts. So this area could soon become one of the busiest sections of the stadium, with multiple crews working simultaneously on different aspects of the construction. We might see rapid progress in the coming weeks as these materials get put to use. The installation of crystal panels alone will dramatically change the appearance of this section, giving us a much clearer picture of what the finished stadium will look like. And of course, we'll be watching closely as that next phase begins. The North Goal area is definitely one to watch in the upcoming updates. So when we look at everything together, today's update sends a very clear message about the state of the Camp Nou construction project. Even with difficult weather conditions, the project is still moving forward with determination and purpose. Today, we've seen third-tier terraces nearing completion with only small sections remaining. Compression rings and radial beams in place, forming the critical structural backbone. Glass panels progressing in the diamond area, creating beautiful commercial spaces. Stair enclosures advancing quickly, transitioning to exterior finishing. Facade tubes installed with impressive speed and precision. And new materials preparing the North Goal area for an exciting next phase. This is what real progress looks like on a project of this scale and complexity. Not dramatic overnight changes or sudden transformations, but steady, coordinated development across multiple key areas, with different teams working in harmony to advance the overall project. Camp Nou is gradually coming back to life, transforming from a construction site into a world-class football stadium. And step by step, section by section, the vision of the new Camp Nou is becoming more and more real. What once existed only in architectural renderings and digital models is now taking physical form, rising from the ground with impressive scale and ambition. The resilience shown by the construction teams, working through challenging weather and coordinating around matchday operations, is truly commendable. This is a project that requires not just technical skill, but also flexibility, dedication, and careful planning. Let me know in the comments, which area impressed you the most in today's update? Was it the third-tier progress, the diamond area development, the stair sections, the facade installations, or the material buildup in the North Goal? And what part of the new Camp Nou are you most excited to see completed? Is it the seating bowls, the commercial areas, the exterior facade, or maybe the roof structure that we'll be seeing in future phases? Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay tuned for the next update. We'll continue bringing you detailed coverage of every major development at Camp Nou. Visca el Barça!